Alrighty, welcome back guys for another Destiny 2 build video. Today we're going to be going over a one-shot Peregrine Greaves Titan build that I've been taking into a bunch of GMs this season. Super fun, you just get to watch champions get absolutely deleted off the face of the earth. This build has quickly become one of my favorites honestly this season. Highly recommend that you give it a shot in some of your GM runs this season. But without any further delay, let's jump right into the build. Starting off with our exotic armor piece, this build is centered around the Peregrine Greaves leg piece exotic for Titans. Peregrine's reads all shoulder charge abilities, our seismic strike, hammer strike, and of course our shield bash deal bonus damage when activated in the air, damaging mini bosses, tormentors, or champions. With your shoulder charge ability refunds your full melee. The main reason we want to use Peregrines here for that one-shot capability is because the bonus damage we get from Peregrines gets cranked up to a plus 1000% extra melee damage just by having the exotic on. This is the main source of that one-shot capability that we're going to be doing to these champions, but you'll see soon in the subclass how we can crank that up just even a little bit more. For our subclass, we're going to be using Void 3.0 on Titan, and our main aspect that we are going to need to be equipping here is Offensive Bulwark. The main reason we want to use Offensive Bulwark is for the extra melee damage when we have a Void Overshield. I believe it's an extra 100% melee damage while we have a Void Overshield. So that's why we're going with Offensive Bulwark. A nice pairing with Offensive Bulwark is, of course, Bastion. When you cast your Barricade, you give yourself a Void Overshield. So that pairs nicely with Offensive Bulwark and Bastion working in tandem there together. And of course, we want to have Shield Bash because without Shield Bash, we're not really getting use out of the Peregrine Greaves. The rest is kind of up to you. You can kind of run whatever. I'll briefly touch some of the fragments here. But one of the fragments I'm running is Echo of Harvest, just to get some weaken effects with Echo of Undermining on my grenade so that I can weaken targets. When I defeat them, they make Void Breaches, which give you class ability energy back when you pick those Void Breaches up. You want to get your Barricade back as fast as possible here so that you can proc Bastion to give yourself a Void Overshield so that you can get the extra melee damage with Offensive Bulwark. I'm also running Echo of Persistence just to have my Void Overshield last 50% longer here. For my last fragment, I simply have Echo of Starvation on just for a little bit extra survivabilities. When I pick up an orb, I get Devour. This is really nice in endgame content to have, but I mean, it's not totally mandatory. You could also probably get away with like Echo of Leeching, for example. When you get a melee final blow, it starts health regen for you and nearby allies. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Echo of Vigilance in high-end content, honestly, can't really go wrong with it. Could be a lifesaver, getting that overshield when you're low HP and you defeat a target. Jumping over to our mod setup, some important ones really here is heavy-handed. You can have this on. Obviously, you're going to be getting a ton of powered melee kills with Peregrines and the Shield Bash. And for the other two mods on my arms, I have Bolstering Detonation and Focusing Strike. This is just to get some extra class ability energy back when I deal damage with my melee and my grenade. Again, a big theme in this build is getting your class ability back as fast as you can so you can proc Bastion to get the benefits of Offensive Bulwark for the extra melee damage. On your chest, just run any resistances that you need based on the activity that you're up against and the enemies that you're facing. You could even run a charged up here if you want, but I chose not to just because I'm going to be taking it to a GM. Probably wouldn't be the end of the world if I did though either. On my legs, for a little bit of extra survivability, I've got Recuperation to give me some health back every time I pick up an orb. So another mod I'm running on my leg piece is Absolution for an extra 5% energy of all my abilities on orb pickup, just to give myself a little bit of class ability energy when I pick up an orb. That's mainly what that's for. And then Elemental Charge, I'm just running Elemental Charge because of the artifact perk. Just makes it really cheap, so anytime that I pick up a Void Breach, it has an escalating chance of giving me an additional stack of armor charge. For my class item, the biggest one here is the utility Kickstart. Again, we want to get our Rally Barricade back as fast as we can, so whenever we have 3 stacks of armor charge and we pop our Barricade, we get a little bit of that energy back to us to help kickstart our class ability regen. To round out the class item, I just have Outreach on for a little bit of extra melee ability energy if I need it, and to just pick up Orbs of Power via Powerful Attraction. The rest of the mods, honestly, kind of up to you. I'm just running double siphons because I want to make myself orbs so that I can keep getting energy back via Absolution to help with my Rally Barricade regen, and also to charge up my armor charges for utility kickstart. For weapons, you can really use whatever you want, honestly. I just have Outbreak on because Outbreak is honestly a little too good right now since Pulse Rifle's got a massive buff in the final shape. It just really melts through everything in GMs. It's almost too good not to run. And I have the Indebted Kindness on for the Unstopped Champion stunning capability. But other than that, you can really switch up any of the weapons that you need based on what champions you're going to be facing in the activity. If you really wanted to use a weapon that synergizes very, very well with our subclass setup, especially, you could run Buried Bloodline, because if you have the Catalyst while you have Devour, this weapon will weaken enemies on hit. And again, once you defeat weakened enemies via Echo of Harvest, you'll get Void Breaches. So this weapon can generate a ton of Void Breaches for you if you're getting a bunch of kills with it. Just be wary of the cooldown the Echo of Harvest has. So now that we've gone over the build, let's dive into some clips of a few GMs that I took over the past couple weeks and really show what this build is capable of doing. I must say, I don't play Titan much. I'm definitely not a Titan main, but this has really become one of my favorite builds. It is super fun in GMs, and I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I did. So without further ado, let's hop into those clips. So normally, obviously, if you don't have a teammate who can pop an overshield for you, you got to do it yourself. So really, it's just pop an overshield and just run at the dude. And there you go. All right. But yeah, your basic game loop is just pop an overshield, get in the air for a little bit, and then bam. It's just dead. Everything just dead. There you go. Stun that guy in the air, bam, dead. It's that easy. You just watch their health disappear. It is honestly so much fun. I don't quite... Okay, thank you, Mike, for the overshield. You don't really need to stun them, but I mean, you can just kind of run at everything and just melee them and they will die. Okay, we're coming up on a couple more champions here. Let's see what we can do. Just want to get a weaken on him. Get the stun off. And boom! He's dead. Just absolutely disappeared off the face of the earth. This guy's really far away, honestly. Let's see if we can just clobber him real quick. There we go. Easy peasy. Some of the ones that are a little further away, I kind of am a little bit more cautious. Because if you lose your overshield while you're like kind of running at them, getting shot by ads, or even the champ itself, you're going to lose that extra 100% melee damage from offensive bulwark. It's not the end of the world, but sometimes it just doesn't one-shot them. Just get some of this stuff dead so we can spawn in the boss. I want to see how much damage the shoulder charge does to him. It does half. I mean, this guy's a boss, so I mean, that's not bad at all. That guy's not coded as a mini boss. He's like an actual boss. So that's why I didn't get my melee charge right back. But yeah, it's really not that big of a deal if we don't get our melee back that fast. If you're spec'd into 100 strength like I am right now, you'll get your shield bash back pretty darn quick. Okay. Then we get the stun here and boom! He's dead. Okay, and I'm gonna put this down. Thank you for the stun, and skadoosh. He's dead. Well, now I need a Void Overshield. That's annoying. I mean, even without one, it almost one-shots them, and you can just kind of go up for the finisher. I'm gonna go over here to try and there's a one-shot. Oh, I missed. And there's another one-shot. You can keep up your Void Overshield and your melee and just keep getting hits on the right targets. You can really just chain one-shots back to back to back to back.
Victor.
Very, very fun build. All right, we have a whole group of champs right up here, so I'm going to stun that unstop and one-shot him. There's one. I didn't have the overshield there, but it's alright because he was finishable anyway. I'm going to go back for a refresh on the overshield. I barely have one, and they're all dead. Nice. Okay. Nice. Oh, and look at that. I get Peregrine Greaves as my exotic. So as you can see, ton of fun with this build. Just one-shotting everything in your path. As long as you can keep that Void Overshield up and just keep getting those hits on those champions, tormentors, mini-bosses, enemies like that in that category, you can really just chain one-shot kneecaps to the face, just back to back to back. Super fun, would highly recommend. Even in the Disgrace GM, let's see if we can one-shot him, you know? Oh, yeah. It's still one-shots, for sure. I'm not really sure if Void Surge is, like, a huge deal with this build to work, like, very effectively. But, I mean, I'm probably going to be running this build a lot in GMs on Titan when I need to be on my Titan, or if I just want to play on my Titan. It's just so good for one-shotting capability on champions, just to burst them down super, super quick. Let's see if I can do it again. Oh, yeah. It's literally as simple as pop your barricade, get the Void Overshield, run at them, be in the air for like about a half second, and just shield bash them and just watch them die. But yeah, that's basically the build. You can pretty much take it to any GM that you want and you'll pretty much be fine. Maybe not so much the Battleground GMs. There's a lot of ads in there. But yeah, enjoy. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. If you're still here, thank you so much. The support means a lot. If you really enjoy my content and want to show some extra support while getting some added perks shown on screen, consider becoming a member of the channel. Any additional support would be greatly appreciated. Also, huge shout out to my channel members here on screen. You guys are amazing and your support means the world to me. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.